welcome to Style by Grace, and this is your host Grace. And before I continue, can I invite you to please click that bell to subscribe for my YouTube channel so that every time I come up with a new video, you'll be notified. Today we are going to talk about winter driving. So for people who probably have migrated to places that have snow or winter, this is something for you to know when you drive during the winter time. There's a lot of things that we have to know so that you'll be familiar and it'll be safe for you to drive when the weather is not in favor. And especially winter driving is very, very challenging. So I'm going to be teaching you today what are those things that you have to know and what are those that you have to prepare when you go out to drive. When you go out to this winter weather, make sure that you have underneath a thermal wear. And if you wear jeans, make sure that you also have a winter wear inside. It is very important you keep yourself very warm, and you have a wool socks also to keep your feet warm, and a really nice pair of boots. I'm going to put my boots on, and of course you need the gloves, because when we go out you'll know why we need our gloves, and a really nice light but very warm coat and your toque. So you need to cover your head as well. I'm already wearing my sweatshirt, sorry about that, and then put your toque on. This is gonna keep your head warm, because when it's snowing it's really cold. Sometimes it goes to -10, and so you have to prepare for that. So now I have my sweatshirt with the hood on, and I another have hood with my coat as well. Sometimes it's nice that you have double protection, and then you zip up your coat very well. And then you have our gloves that we're going to wear. And then I'll bring you outside and I'll show you what's the first thing we're going to do and what are the other stuff that we still have to prepare during this very challenging weather. So one of the things that we have to remember when we are scrubbing the snow with our scraper is to put the engine on. Some of the cars they have a remote control where you can put it on and start the engine so that the seat will start to warm up, and also the steering wheel will start to warm up. It's so difficult to talk when it's winter and cold. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to put the engine on, so while we're finishing the scraping of the snow. We're here near the car now, and the car is still covered with the snow, so I'm going to be telling you what to do. So it's also very important that during the winter time you have a really non-slippery boots and warm boots that you're going to wear, and a gloves that is warm, and this gloves has rubber slips on it so that when I drive it doesn't slip the steering wheel. So I'll tell you the first thing that we're going to do is to go find our scraper. Alright. Now this is the first thing we're going to do is we scrape the snow. There we go, so that we can see from the window or from the glass what's from outside. Otherwise it is covered with snow, and it's not ideal to be driving when your car is covered with snow. So here at the back it's not so much of a snow, but still we're gonna scrape it, and we go. And this side is didn't have enough snow because the wind was blowing from the other side. But then the windshields, that's when it gets a lot of snow, and we have to really scrape it. Okay, there we go. I hope I'm holding the camera very well. And of course it's wiser to also scrape the snow on the hood, because as you drive, the snow will be flying over, and it will, you know, create some accidents if it's going to fly towards your windshield. We're inside the car now, so first thing you should do is make sure that your seatbelt is fastened. Let me find my seatbelt. Where are you now? It's difficult sometimes when you're so bundled up and hard to find. There we go. Now, it is very important, I was talking about, it is very important that you have to put the engine on first before you scrape outside, so that you're going to warm up your seats. This one has a seat warmer. You're going to warm up your steering wheel, and also you want to melt the snow in front of the windshield. And another thing is to make sure that your windshield wiper is on full tank, so that when you need to clear up the snow on the windshield, you can always spritz it anytime and clear up your windshield. Another thing to remember is to make sure that your gas doesn't go below the last quarter of the line for the gas level. Make sure that if you can afford it, like, have always a full tank before you drive, or at least around the half of the tank your gas level is, because you'll never know what's gonna happen on the street, and you'll never know if you're going to meet some accidents or whatever it is, the circumstances. You are ready and you have enough gas to sustain you or to let you stay in the bad weather. We are going to go through the things that we need to prepare for winter driving. So this is for people who are thinking of immigrating to Canada or to places where there's snow, where there's winter weather and they have snow, because there are some places that have winter weather but they don't get the snow. And also for people who have no idea how hard it is and what are the things to prepare when you are driving on a very challenging, intense weather. And for those who are planning to come here, and for those who are still new to this country and have not experienced driving during the winter time. So there are things that we need to prepare and make sure you have them, because it is for your own safety. So I was mentioning about the basket. So in the basket, you're gonna put it at the back of your car, and make sure you have water. You have snacks. In this case, nuts is very ideal because nuts has a high protein, so it keeps you full for a longer time. And you need something that has sugar in it to keep you warm. And then you need also a good flashlight, a candle. You need a candle that has a tin cover, because when you run out of gas, you need to keep yourself warm, and they said the candle can keep you safe, keep you warm. And of course, you don't forget a blanket. You always have to carry a blanket with you to keep you warm as well, if in case you get stranded in the middle of nowhere and it's cold and the help is not there yet. And of course, your first aid kit in case you need some bruises or cuts or something. Then you have a ready first aid kit in your car before the help would come. So this would go to the back seat or to the luggage area, so when you need it, you have it. When you drive during the snowy weather, you have to really go slow down. If the speed is 50, then you have to go 30. And when you need to leave, like say going to work, always give a lead time, at least minimum of 30 minutes. Like earlier than your usual, because the winter driving is very slow and you want to be very careful and be safe. And there's so much to be preparing as well before you go to work. You have to brush and remove the snow of your car as much as possible, especially in the windshield and on the top load, because when you drive, that would be blown away and it gets into your way, your face, and that is like having to welcome an accident. So you want to avoid that. When you drive, if it's in the main street, you don't have to worry so much because there's going to be a blower, like a truck that blows the snow very often and spreads some salt. But there are some areas where there's still a lot of snow and it's slippery, and you don't want to step on your brake like as the way you do it when during the summertime when there's no snow. So as much as possible, you don't step on your brake, you go slow, and then you slowly step on your brake, but don't be abrupt in stepping your brake, because you're more likely to swerve and you get it will bring you to the ditch, especially when there's high snow in the snowbank. It does suck you up, or the snow will suck up the wheels, your wheels. So then you go to the ditch, and that would be it. You'll have a problem getting out of it, and then you need to call for help. And also, when you are driving like fast, and then you suddenly you step on your brake, you're going to swerve, and your car, more likely you will have an accident as well. So stepping the brake during the winter driving is very tricky. So you have to remember to be very careful and slow. Always go slow. It's better to be safety than sorry. Okay, and then we have shoulders here in the highway or in the road or in the streets. So if ever you think that your car is slipping, it slips and it doesn't grip on the brake. When you're stepping on the brake, you go gear your wheel towards the shoulder, because then there's a gutter that you would hit, and it'll help you to stop. Winter tire. Usually we have the non-winter tire and the winter tire. So we switch it during the winter. We'll just have to go to the service center and have it switched. In a country like this, a big country like Canada or the US, or maybe Australia, it is very clever or wise to be a member of, here in Canada we call it CAA, or in the US they call it AAA. I don't know what they call it in Australia or in New Zealand. It's always good to be a member of that. It's like an insurance, so that something's going to happen to you on the road. Maybe you run out, your battery just conked out, or you run out of gas, or for whatever problem you have along the road, you can always call them, and then somebody will always come and rescue you. Another few things you have to remember: make sure you have your charger that you can charge to your car. You have a Garmin, or you can have it on your phone as well. It's always good to have a Garmin separately from your phone. In case you don't get it from your phone, then you have a manual Garmin or a GPS that would tell you where you are. I guess I have given you already quite a few information for driving and safety driving during the winter season. So we get into the really real winter time, I'm going to make another video, and we'll go along with it, or we go through with it as I tell you what are the precautions, what are the safety things that you need to do or prepare or know ahead when you are going to go out for driving. There you go, guys. I made it home safe and sound. I hope that those tips that I have mentioned have somehow helped you and give you some information to be safe on the road while driving in a winter wonderland. And I ask you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Even if you don't live in a winter world, at least I know you have some relatives or friends that you can share it. You can share it with, and please subscribe because it's free. And then you'll be notified for my next video, and we can always share it to our friends, relatives, and whoever you're close with. And I'll be very, very thankful if you do that. Until next time, right here in Style by Grace, and this is Grace. Be safe and be nice and be kind all the time. Bye.